Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Trench Gun mod, which is being made by user Kottabos. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is this, the Trench Gun, which is basically just a new fun shotgun for you to use in the Commonwealth. And I gotta say, I really love this mod, for one main reason alone. Now in the game, you may know that I love shotguns if you've watched any of my Fallout 4 series, as I love the destructive power that they have. But one thing that's always kind of bothered me is that besides the double-barreled sawed-off shotgun, there really wasn't a shotgun that looked like a shotgun. You either had the double-barreled or the combat shotgun, which was just a combat rifle that shot shotgun shells. And that was it, and that always saddened me. And thus in comes the trench gun to fill that void of a shotgun that looks like a shotgun, and that frankly makes me smile. And thankfully, once you do have this mod installed, it's pretty easy to get your hands on one of these, as it is added into the leveled loot list for the game, so you'll find it scattered around in the world in different, safes or desks, etc., or of course on enemy raiders, or even in just random stores that you come about in the wasteland. Always good. And once you do find yourself one of these, or of course, cheated in with console commands like I did, you should probably get yourself a short trench gun, as that is the standard model, so that's probably what you'll end up finding in, say, a store, where you'll have all these standard modifications. And do make note of how long the list of kinds of modifications that we have available to us are here. It is pretty impressive, so you can really take this short trench gun and turn it into pretty much whatever dream shotgun you desire, and that is pretty awesome. Now, as for the standard stats of this thing, it's at the base level, not great, but not also too bad either. It'll do damage of 65, it of course uses shotgun shells, has a fire rate of 10, range of 47, a sad accuracy of 27, and weight of 11.1. Overall, like I said, not the greatest of weapons, but also not the worst, and with all the various modifications that you can add over here, well, you can make this thing pretty darn impressive, as, say, for instance, I believe this is the most powerful. I was able to make one of these shotguns at 119 damage with just differing modifications. Now, again, that's just with a fairly short amount of time that I've spent with this mod so far. For all I know, there could be a better mix of modifications out there, and of course, perks as well that will raise this up. You guys can have fun exploring that, but for me, I made this powerful little beastie, which is pretty darn impressive, and as you can see, it looks pretty sweet. So let us go and take a look at the modifications that we do have for this gun first, and there are a large number of them, and then we'll take a few pot shots, and of course, inevitably, kill that poor mongrel over there. He dies so much in this series. But into the modifications, and let's go to our short trench gun here. And start with, of course, receivers, where we have a sizable number of them, but pretty much your bog standard receivers that you do have in the game. Everything from the light frame, calibrated, powerful, up to the advanced receiver, which will provide you with the most damage. As you can see here, a more sensitive trigger. I don't know what that means, frankly. Better rate of fire, and just overall, a very impressive weapon. Oh, I guess the sensitive trigger goes with the rate of fire. That might make sense in some way, shape, or form. And yes, fairly standard selection of receivers here. None of them actually change the look of the gun, but they will change your various stats. Good to have. Now, in barrels, we have 4 different ones to choose from. Starting with the standard stub barrel, we can then go to a medium, long, and finally a rifle barrel, which has, of course, as you can see here, the superior recoil and range, and a narrow spread, which is always useful for the buckshot of a shotgun shell. The next we have is with, of course, our stocks here, where we have the sawed-off stock, which is from the standard, a folded shotgun stock, which I love the look of this thing on the design. It's very cool. A pistol grip for, if you want to make this thing a shotgun pistol. A rifle stock with pistol grip, an unfolded stock, and finally the rifle stock here. I'd say my probably favorites are the unfolded and the folded, just because well, they look cool, frankly, in my opinion at least, and very good overall, giving you different levels of recoil. Always good to see. Now, the next one we have is the magazine, where we have two options of either the standard or a quick eject. No size difference between the two, but of course this one will help with your reload speed. Next is our sights, where we have just a small little selection here, but we have the standard front sight ring, front glow sight ring, and then the short scope reflex sight dot or reflex sight circle. So not a huge selection here, but overall pretty good. And then in the muzzle, we have the pretty standard things here of a bayonet, compensator, muzzle brake, and finally a suppressor, which again, just always, it amuses me when there's a suppressor on a shotgun. It just makes me smile. And then beyond that, we have two additional slots, which are very, very cool. Now, the accessory one, I think, is probably my favorite modification slot, purely because it makes the gun look more interesting. And what this has is either no accessory, or a shotgun shell holder, which actually does increase the reload speed of the gun, but also makes it look cooler with shotgun shells on the side, again making it look a bit more like a real shotgun, and that is pretty fun. I love that thing, it's very, very nice. And then the final modification we have is actually the ammo type, where you can change it from buckshot, which is the regular standard ammo, to slug ammunition, where instead of the buckshot it says single solid projectile, increasing range, accuracy, and damage. And just from the standard 65 damage, this will take it up to 71. So very good indeed, and it's nice to have those options. So if you are wanting to clear out a room, stick with the buckshot. If you're wanting to get someone at a range, yeah, go with the slug. Very, very cool. I love having that option. And that is all the different modifications that we do have for the trench gun. And all in all, you can make some pretty wacky things here. For instance, I did show you my compensated one already, which is a slug ammo type and meant for long-range shots. And frankly, I probably should have put a short scope on it rather than the reflex sight. We also have here a bayoneted hardened trench gun, which again does use slugs, but meant for, you know, going into a room and stabbing some folks. Nice little rifle stock there. Very cool overall. And then finally, the suppressed trench gun that I made. Oh, I love it. I love it. Again, I love suppressors on shotguns. It makes me smile. And overall, very, very cool. I love the folding stock with the shotgun shells. All fun additions. But let's take a look at the short trench gun and see how it fires, and I'll shut up for a second so you can take a listen. Now there we go, a pretty powerful shotgun blast there with quite a bit of bass, very good. And once we get to the reload animation here, you can see kind of put in like a normal little magazine and then cock back that bolt, which personally I would have preferred if we had a pump action shotgun, but you know what, I can live with this one. Now as for the, let's go for the silenced one, as the others basically sound exactly the same, and get a listen on this. Again, it's a very good sound. Of course, it doesn't sound very shotgun-esque, being so light and, you know, silent. It is a suppressor after all. But what I really love about this gun, though, is we do have that folding stock on there, which you'd think might actually block our aiming, but if we look through, it's got that lovely little hole there, so we can still actually see the ring aim sight down at that back end, which is quite cool. I do like that little detail. Makes it very handy. I was kind of worried about how I was going to aim when I put this on there, only to find that lovely little hole put in. And of course, our fun shotgun shells on the side. Now, if we go to the hardened trench gun, again, it's just going to be the same big bassy sound. There we go. Lovely, with just a standard sight. And then finally, my more powerful recoil-compensated advanced trench gun with the reflex sight. And this one also reloads quite quickly because I have the quick eject mag as well as the shotgun shells on the side. So look at how quick that one goes. You can reload this thing in seconds. It is very fun indeed. So let's go over to our poor mongrel friend and see how he, well, basically disintegrates at the 119 damage of this. And of course, well, I have the critical shot that I always do here. So bye-bye, my friend. And there he goes. Oh, you poor dog. And that was without any sneak damage. That was one shot, one kill, critical hit. Very good indeed. And yeah, that is the trench gun, a very fun shotgun modification for the game. I've been having a lot of fun with this thing. Just all the different modifications, you can really change this thing to be whatever you desire. And overall, it's just fun having another shotgun in Fallout 4. So yes, if you would like to check out this mod for yourself, which I would definitely suggest you go and do, you can take a look at the link in the description as always. And I do hope you have enjoyed this video today, and of course you do come back for the next, when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!